Next, there is a specific canal system in this poriferans through which the circulation of food materials and waste materials are taking place. You can see, children, there is a opening called as osculum and finger-like projections called as incurrent and excurrent canals. So, the water from the osculum comes into the incurrent and excurrent canals, flows through this canal system. So, the circulation of food materials and the waste materials are taken out. So, this is the circulating system of poriferans.
Hello children, welcome to our session. Today we are going to deal about chapter 5, diversity in living organisms. You can see the pore-like structures on their body, right? So, these are called as poriferans.
So, the next phylum is Coelenterata or Cnidaria. The best example is Aurelia, that is commonly called as jellyfish or the hydra. Next, the coelenterates or cnidarians are radially symmetrical. These are aquatic forms. Body is made up of two layers, diploblastic, that means children two, ectoderm and endoderm. So, some live in solitary, that is single, and few live in colonies. Single living is, example is hydra. So, this coelenterate has a specific gastrovascular cavity through which the food and the waste materials are getting in and getting out. So, you can see, children, here the Aurelia, isn't it, the umbrella shaped structure. Aurelia, the water intake and the water is expelled. So, this has gastrovascular cavity. So, this is, you can see the coral colonies, they are living in colonies.
The umbrella shaped structure, now these are the tentacles. So, these contains cnidoblast, those sting-like structures which will kill the prey.
So, the next phylum is Platyhelminthes. Platy means flat. Children, this is dorsal side, this is ventral. Dorsal, ventral. These Platyhelminthes are dorsoventrally flattened structures. You can see the hooks, this is rostellum, the hooks and sucker-like structures through which this Taenia solium will get attached to our small intestine. So, this Taenia solium is the parasitic animal. So, Platyhelminthes are bilaterally symmetrical, dorsoventrally flattened. They are called as flatworms. They are triploblastic. First is ectoderm, that is outer layer, mesoderm, middle layer, endoderm, the inner layer. So, there is no true body cavity, that is they do not have any coelom. Free living example is planaria. The parasitic is tapeworm.
It is so small, like a pinhead, right? You can see segmented structures, right? So, these are proglottids. You can see there are dorsoventrally flattened, isn't it, children? So, children, these Platyhelminthes do not have any specific coelom. That means there is no specific coelomic cavity.
So, nematoda. Children, I would like to show you an example for this. So, children, this is tube and this is again tube. Tube within tube. Tube within tube. Children, you can see the hollow structure. I am placing the tube. So, within the tube also you have hollow thing. This is called as coelom. In the coelom, the organs and organ systems are embedded. Example is Ascaris lumbricoides, the roundworm. So, they are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, body is cylindrical, cylindrical body. So, pseudocoelom is present, means false coelom is present, are parasitic. So, parasitic worms, elephantiasis, that is filarial worms. You can see the hand of the man is the size of the elephant leg or hand, isn't it, children? So, enterobiasis, that is pinworm.
So, this is male Ascaris, children, this is female. Now, the male is shorter than the female and has a pointed tail. You can see the pointed tail, right, children? So, this is Ascaris lumbricoides.
So, annelids, these are segmented worms. That means the body is segmented. So, they have open circulatory system. You can see. That means, children, the blood is not flowing in the blood vessels. It is flowing in the coelom. So, this is the example of closed circulatory system. That means, children, the blood is flowing in the blood vessels. Annelids, these are segmented worms, bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, true coelom is present. This allows the true organs to be protected in the body. So body is segmented. You can see, children, the segmentation of the body, right, which the segment lined up one after the other from head to tail.
Now children, this is the example of annelids. We have earthworm. You can see lines on the body, that is segments from head to tail. So the earthworms are also called as friends of the farmers, isn't it children?
So arthropods. Arthro means jointed, pods means legs. So they have jointed legs. Example is cockroach, the prawn and the scorpion. So arthropod is the largest phyla. It has more than 1 lakh species on earth. So the largest phyla in the animal kingdom. Arthropod means jointed legs. Bilaterally symmetrical. Children, bilaterally symmetrical means when you divide the organism into half, the right and the left side should be same. The coelomic cavity is filled with blood, open circulatory system, and so the blood does not flow in the well-defined blood vessels.
You can see the segmentation, isn't it? Now you can clearly see here children, the jointed legs of the scorpion, isn't it? The jointed legs. This is what makes arthropods. Arthro means jointed, pods means legs.
So mollusca, the soft shelled animals. So the best example is octopus and the freshwater mussel, the snail also, children. That means the body is so soft and it is guarded by the shell. So soft shelled animals. The best example for this is, as I told you, octopus, freshwater mussel and the snail. They are bilaterally symmetrical. The coelom cavity is reduced. There is little segmentation and open circulatory system is present. And an interesting fact about octopus is, children, when a predator goes near to it, what it does, it gives out a bluish ink-like structures, that is bluish ink-like thing which it can escape. So this is the very clever animal. So kidney-like organs for excretion. There is foot that is used for moving around. Example is snail. And children, what is Hyderabad famous for? Yes, of course, for biryani, and then they are famous for the pearls, isn't it? Pearls. Pinctada margaritifera, black-lipped pearl oyster. So this is the pearl extraction.
Children, you can see shell-like structure. This is pila and this is the foot, children. Slowly it will come out and it will walk.
So echinodermate. Echino means, children, spine. Derma means skin. On the skin they have spine-like structures. That's the reason they are called as echinodermates. You can see in the starfish, children, they are spine-like structures on the surface of the skin. And the sea urchins also are under echinodermates. In Greek, echino means spine, derma means skin. They have hard calcium carbonate structures that they use as skeleton. They are triploblastic and coelomic cavity is also present. So this is the water vascular system, children. See, you can see here the madrepodite. For best understanding, let's see the video, children.
You can see spine-like structures on the body, right? So this is what makes the starfish under echinodermates. So children, the starfish has a specific system called as water vascular system. Water vascular system. So these are the arms of the starfish, children. Now water from the madrepodite enters. Now from the madrepodite it is entering to the ring canal. Through the ring canal towards the radial canals. From the radial canal they are entering into the tube feet. Now the structure of tube feet, that is called as ampulla and these are called as tube foot. By this way the network of water undergoes a circulation distributing the food and nutrients. The same way it is again reversed from the tube feet to the radial canal, from the radial canal to the ring canal, and the water is exited out by the same madrepodite. So this is the water vascular system of starfish.
So children, you can see a tree-like structure, right? They have separated the radiata and bilateria, radial symmetry and bilateral symmetry. Acoelomates, that means children, they do not have any specific coelom. Pseudocoelomates, they have, but they have false coelom. Coelomates, they have true coelom. Acoelomates, we have seen the examples children, Platyhelminthes. Pseudocoelomates, Nematoda. Coelomates, the first coelomates are annelids, right? Protostomia and Deuterostomia. Then Protochordata. Children, in this category we have three: Urochordata, Cephalochordata and Vertebrata. Uro means children tail, that means the chord ring-like structure is present in the tail region. Cephalo means head. So, the chordata is present in the head region. Vertebrata. So, we are all vertebrates, that means we have vertebral column, isn't it children? So, the best examples are Herdmania and Amphioxus. Herdmania for Urochordata and Amphioxus from Cephalochordata. So, children, this is the biggest phylum we have in the vertebrata. So, let us begin it. So, these are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, that means ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm, coelomic and segmented with complex differentiation of body, tissues and organs. As I told you, triploblastic, ectoderm the outermost layer, mesoderm the middle layer, endoderm the innermost layer. So, the chordates, what are the characteristics of chordates? They have notochord, they have dorsal tubular nerve cord. Children, dorsal tubular nerve cord on the head region is condensed to form the nerves called as brain, isn't it? So, the brain has a spinal cord which is running down towards our vertebral column. These are the characteristics of vertebrates. They are triploblastic, have paired gill pouches, are coelomates, have caudal fin. Vertebrates are grouped into 5 classes. So, the vertebrata is classified into 5 categories: spices, amphibians, reptiles, aves and mammals. So, let us know about the each and every phyla. So, first before it, let us see the terminologies children. Oviparous, that means egg laying animals are oviparous. Viviparous, those animals which are giving directly birth to the young ones are viviparous. Poikilothermic, that means children cold blooded. These are the animals that are not capable of regulating their body's temperature. It fluctuates as they move in different surroundings. For an example, fish is present, it can't control its own body temperature, so it changes according to the environment. So, they do not have any constant body temperature, that is examples are fishes, frogs and crocodiles. Then homeothermic, that is warm blood, animals which keep their body temperature constant level in environmental changes by homeostatic mechanisms. Children, we are warm blooded, that means we have constant temperature, we can maintain the constant body temperature. Homeostasis is the ability to maintain a relatively stable internal state that persists despite changes in the world. Examples are humans and cows. Girdles. Children, I want to tell you about girdles. Those bones are part of the appendicular skeleton consisting of bones of limbs and upper and lower. That means children, those are movable. Girdles children, pectoral, hands and legs. Hands and legs, upper, lower, upper, lower, upper we are having hands, lower we are having legs. So, let us consider this as pectoral and legs as pelvic, right? Spiceous. So, let us begin the first phylum, that is spices. Those are cold-blooded animals, have fins and tails, branchial respiration, have two-chambered heart. So, branchial respiration. Children, you can see for an example, take my hand as the gills. Now, when you pour water, what happens? This is the gill pouch. The water has dissolved oxygen. So, the gills absorb the dissolved oxygen in the water. So, this is the respiration in the fish, that is branchial respiration. You can see the water from the mouth is entering into the fish and going to the gill filaments, through which the dissolved oxygen is taken up by the gills. Fins. Children, as I told you, this is dorsal, this is ventral. Dorsal, venter, pectoral and pelvic girdles, right? The same way the fish also have this. So, this is dorsal fin, second dorsal fin, pectoral fin, pelvic fin, anal fin, caudal. Caudal means children tail. So, with the help of this fins, it is able to swim. These are the examples of fishes, children. Amphibia. Amphi means both, means it can live both water and land. In the larval stages, they live in water. In the adult stages, they live in land. The best example for amphibia is frog. Young live in water, but adults live on land, smooth slimy skin and lays eggs. Poikilothermic, heart is 3-chambered. Undergoes hibernation and estivation. Children, when do we see frogs? Yes, usually in the rainy season. What about the summer season and the winter season? Yes, they go to sleep. Yes, in the hibernation. Hibernation is the process where they go to sleep in the winter. So, hibernation is also called as winter sleep. Estivation. They go sleep in the summer. So, estivation. Estivation is also called as summer sleep. Right? So, to avoid the unavoidable circumstances, unfavorable conditions, this frog undergoes hibernation and estivation. Isn't it, children? Very interesting? Right. So, this is the other example of amphibia, children. Ichthyophis. This is also called as blind snake. It exhibits parental care. That means it takes care of the eggs. Reptiles have dry skin and scales, lays eggs, breathe air through lungs. Cold-blooded animals. Most of them have 3-chambered heart, incompletely divided 4-chambered heart. So, the snake, the tortoise is the best example. Children, the crocodile have 4-chambered heart and they have thecodont. That means the teeth are firmly fixed on the jaws. Okay. Aves. Children, the aves, birds, have feathers, 2 wings and claws. Children, this is the pectoral girdle. What about the aves? These are modified into wings, isn't it, children? Wings. So, they lay eggs, warm-blooded animals, 4-chambered heart. So, these are the feathers. So, children, just imagine when they are flying, what is the mechanism which is helping them to fly? Just imagine these fingers as the feathers. They have interlocking mechanism, children, interlocking mechanism. So, the air is not going through it. This is helping them to fly. Example is eagle and emu. Mammals suckle young ones, feed babies with milk, skin covered by hair or fur, breathe air through lungs, give birth to fully formed young ones. That means internal fertilization takes place. So, mammals are of 3 types, children: land mammals, marine mammals and flying mammals. Land mammals, marsupials, primates and rodents. Marsupials feed and care their young ones in their sacks. We know the best example of marsupial is kangaroo. You know, children, the born kangaroo is this much of length, this much small. In the pouch, that is marsupial pouch, the mother kangaroo will take care of the baby kangaroo with the marsupial pouch. Primates, so they are well developed hands, feet with fingers, toes, can judge distance, very intelligent social animals, form bonds with family and friends. So, we are all primates, isn't it, children? We are bonding with family and friends. We have 5 digits, isn't it? 5 digits fingers and toes. We can able to judge the social distance, isn't it? The rodents, the gnawing animal, large incisor teeth, 2 parts, used like chisels to gnaw on hard foods. Okay, children, I want to show the dental formula of human beings. 2, 1, 2, 3. 2, 1, 2, 3. Incisors, canines, premolars, molars. Incisors, canines, premolars, molars. So, these incisors are gnawing type in the rodents. With the help of the incisors, they are chising the food. Marine mammals, which grow and live in the sea water. Some only have sparse covering of hair, that is sea, dolphin and walrus. Flying mammals. So, children, the best example is bat. Echolocation. Nocturnal means they move out in the night. We are not nocturnal, but bats are nocturnal. They go out for the food hunting and prey in the night. That is the reason they are called as nocturnal. Live in the tree hollows and caves. What we have learnt? Invertebrata, Protochordata, Vertebrata, types of mammals. Platypus or echidna is a group that forms a link between reptiles and mammals. Why? Think and write about some characteristic features that these would have. Make a flowchart of invertebrates in the kingdom Animalia based upon their structures and characteristics. Fourth, explain how animals in vertebrates are classified into further subgroups. For better understanding of the concepts, solve the worksheets. Please visit the official website of SCERT. So children, I hope this session have enlightened you the phylums of Invertebrata and Vertebrata through the specimens. Thank you.
ఆ చదువులమ్మ నేరుగా ప్రతి ఇంటి గడప చేరగా మీ భవితకే భరోసా దూరదర్శన్ వేదికగా